We did have just the opposite effect just several years ago. Back in 2015, we were 45% behind in terms of rain. Back in 2016, it was 31%. Last year, it was about 9%. So last year was about average. But so far this year, we have already seen 2,344 millimeters of rain just for the monsoonal season across this region. That's through June and to this date. What that means is we are looking at it is 42% right now above average across this region. Now, we still have about 3 weeks left in the monsoon season, the big monsoon season across the area. In the next couple of days, we are looking at still heavy rain across much of the south. So we're going to be seeing that rain continuing as we go through the next couple of days. I want to show you what we can see on the forecast map. There is the rain right there. It is not going to be as heavy as it was, but it would be nice if we had a break of no rain. So a lot of that water could recede. And as we go here into Monday, you can see more rain is also in the forecast across the region, as well as very heavy rain expected across much of the northeastern part of the country.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, still ahead here on the News Hour. Nepal's women voice their fury over a proposed law they say will reduce them to second-class citizens. And Cristiano Ronaldo is set to make his Italian league debut for Juventus. Peter will have more on that in sport. Do stay with us.
Und wir schauen wieder ins Renngeschehen hinein, haben ein paar Ausfallmeldungen von der Strecke. Die wollen wir nicht vorenthalten. Wir haben da nämlich da zum einen die 481 schon gemeldet gehabt im Bereich der Mercedes Arena und es hat wohl auch die Startnummer 212 dort in Kombination erwischt. Das heißt, diese beiden sind aneinander geraten. Ich hatte mir sowas schon gedacht, weil der BMW nämlich ganz komisch von der Strecke humpelte, nachdem er da mit der 212 aneinander geraten war. Das war nämlich der Porsche Cayman von Volker und Achim Waver sowie Markus Schmickler. Also auch einem, der ein Heimspiel hat. Der Porsche kann das Rennen fortsetzen. Ja, ist ja lustig, hier haben alle Heimspiele. Ne? Der Markus Schmickler, der kommt hier aus Bad Neuenahr, ich glaube sogar aus Gimmingen, genauer gesagt, den Ortsteil. Und die Kollegen, die er da abgeräumt hat, die kommen von der Grafschaft. Also da kann man fast zu Fuß hin und her laufen zwischen den beiden Ortschaften. Auf jeden Fall haben die sich ausgerechnet hier im Castro S bzw. im Haughaken getroffen. Ausfall auch für die Mannschaft Bellow und Vettel. Das hatten wir ja bereits schon mal erwähnt. Dieses Fahrertrio, müssen wir ja genauer gesagt sagen. Also mit dem Schorsch, mit dem Georg Bellow, zusammen mit Fabian Vettel, also einmal der ältere und einmal der jüngere Bruder der bekannten Namen, ergänzt durch André Duwe. Da gab es wohl einen Unfall im Bereich 179, Bereich Schwalbenschwanz. Weitere Ausfallmeldung betrifft die Startnummer 605.
News Hour, I'm Sahil Rahman. A reminder of our top stories. Former UN Secretary-General Kofi Annan has died at the age of 80. He served as the 7th Secretary-General from 1997 to 2006 and was the first to rise to the top of the United Nations from within the ranks of the organisation itself. He received the Nobel Peace Prize jointly with the UN in 2001. Also, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has surveyed what's being described as some of the worst flooding in a century in the southern state of Kerala. Thousands of stranded people are waiting to be rescued as heavy rain continues to batter the region. And former cricket star Imran Khan has been sworn in as Pakistan's Prime Minister. It has taken Khan more than 2 decades to get the top job after retiring from sport and turning his attention to politics. He was elected Prime Minister in a vote at the National Assembly on Friday. The remains of a family, a husband, wife and their 9-year-old daughter have been recovered from the rubble of the bridge that collapsed in Italy on Tuesday. This brings the number of dead to more than 40, with hundreds more injured. A state funeral has taken place for victims of the disaster. President Sergio Mattarella was among those attending, but some families blamed the government for the disaster and boycotted the ceremony. For more on the funeral service for the victims and their families, David Chater joins me now from Genoa. And it really was a service for all, with all denominations being reflected.
That's right. The extraordinary thing about this tragedy, Sal, is that there were so many nationalities involved. This really was an international highway between France and Italy. And there were some 17 families, of course, who, as you said, boycotted the whole proceedings because they felt that previous Italian governments had been negligent in the case of the maintenance of this bridge, and they were responsible for it. So they preferred to keep their grief in private and say farewell on their own, away from the media spotlight and, of course, more importantly, away from the senior politicians who were attending the service. But, of course, the fresh bodies that were dug up from the rubble under the bridge did hang over the service. It was meant to be a time of coming together, supporting each other to try and show some sort of sympathy for the grief and to lessen that grief if they could. But at the moment I'm standing in the square now that the whole ceremony is over, standing in the square where the owners and the people who ran the franchise for that bridge will be giving their first press conference, appearing in public for the first time. And there's a lot of anger against them because many people said there was an engineer's report only last year that warned there were serious problems with the bridge and the spans that hold the bridge up. So everybody will be looking now at them. They're giving the press conference in a hotel on this square, and to find out exactly what their next step is going to be, how much compensation they're going to give to the families of the victims, to tell us more about exactly what went wrong and why it went wrong. And of course, the populist nationalist government here, the coalition government, have started proceedings against them, threatening to withdraw their whole concession from them. And that's been hitting the shares of their parent company. So the spotlight will no longer be on the victims and their families. The spotlight will very much be on the men who were responsible for that bridge and are responsible also for many other bridges like it and the motorways across the whole of Italy. And there are serious worries at the moment about the rate at which some of these bridges built 50s, 60s and 70s are now deteriorating. It seems that reinforced concrete doesn't last more than 50 years. It was meant to last 100 years. But something's gone very wrong with the design. Just exactly what did they know and when did they know it?
Indeed, we'll come back to you when we hear what they have to say. For the moment, David, thank you.
Get it down, get it down. Drop game, drop game. Short and bad, bite bad, they don't like that. Like that, they don't like that. Short and bad, bite bad.